of people are saying, what has George Kamboso Jr. done after the split decision victory he had versus Teofimo Lopez? As you all know, right after that fight, he fought Devin the Dream Haney out there in Australia. He lost, didn't win a round. He got a rematch with Devin Haney. He lost, didn't win a round. Then he fought Maxie Hugh. Maxie Hugh, who just won yesterday, is now the WBC silver champion. And shout out to Maxie Hugh. A lot of people felt that Maxie Hugh beat George Kamboso and he got robbed, right? So that could have been 3 straight losses, right? And then George Kamboso went to fight Vasily Lomachenko, the former pound for pound, 1, 2, 3, you can flip it around, the 3-division world champion, probably the greatest amateur that ever laced up the gloves, right? He got stopped by Vasily Lomachenko. Now, he did win in a fight as of late. Wasn't overwhelming. Yeah, at the end of the day, he signed with Matchroom Boxing. The Zone Matchroom Boxing, Lou DiBella, partnership with Eddie Hearn. And we already know that George Kamboso was gonna be politically moved and politically positioned to be in the position that he is at right now. He's going to be facing Richardson Hitchins, the IBF junior welterweight of the world, in 3 weeks in New York City. The same place where George Kamboso had the greatest night of his career. Yeah, at the end of the day, we all know that he hasn't done much. A lot of people say that he's now a one-hit wonder. That could all change for George Kamboso if he does defeat Richardson Hitchins, who beat Liam Pyro, who beat the former boogeyman in Subriel Matias. It'll be a good win. But was it that George Kamboso hasn't done nothing after the Teofimo Lopez split decision victory? Or was that George Kamboso was not the same after after he stopped training with Manny Pacquiao, stopped sparring with Manny Pacquiao? Ladies and gentlemen, I told y'all a year before the fight with Teofimo Lopez and George Kamboso that George Kamboso was going to be a tougher outing for Teo than the Vasily Lomachenko fight. Y'all guys thought I was crazy. Just like a lot of people thought I was crazy when I said that Teofimo Lopez was going to outbox Vasily Lomachenko. Because at the end of the day, there's a lot of people out here that, yes, we are all boxing fans in this community. Hardcore boxing fans. But do you really do your due diligence? Do you really study? Do you really do film study? Let's be real. Let's be honest. See, I do this 24/7, 365. I do this. I live it. I breathe it. I study it. I told y'all, George Kamboso is training with Manny Pacquiao, the 8th division world champion, 5-time millennial, 12-time world champion, the ambassador, the senator, the humanitarian, the greatest karaoke singer of them all, the GOAT, Manny Pacquiao. I told y'all, Manny Pacquiao has publicly stated that George Kamboso was his favorite sparring partner. He gears him up, he sharpens him up so he could go to battle and win those type of fights in his career. Yes, George Kamboso was Manny Pacquiao's favorite sparring partner to prepare to go to war. And guess what? Iron sharpens iron. The same thing he did for Manny Pacquiao, Manny Pacquiao did for George Kamboso. So leading up to the Teofimo Lopez fight, he was undefeated. He was throwing a lot of high volume punches. He was throwing a lot of combination. He was mimicking Manny Pacquiao. The only difference is with George Kamboso is that he just didn't have power. Ever since he stopped working with Manny Pacquiao, he slowed down. He throws 1 to 2 shots. He second-guessed himself. He left his trainer, Javier Centeno. He left his manager, Peter Kahn, and stuff like that. At the end of the day, things come crashing down. But if he would have stood training with Manny Pacquiao like he should be training with Manny Pacquiao now, because Manny Pacquiao is back. And Manny Pacquiao is going to be facing Mario Barrios July 19th. Oh, yeah. If George Kamboso comes and do 2 weeks at least with Manny Pacquiao before the fight week, oh yeah, George Kamboso has a great chance in beating Richardson Hitchins. Right now, Richardson Hitchins is the favorite. George Kamboso has no momentum. Look like he again, like I said, looks like this is a guy that haven't done much after the Teofimo Lopez fight, but he hasn't done much after not working with Manny Pacquiao. Look at the look at the resume. Look at Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao, we already know that he got robbed by Jeff Horn. We already know that he fought Ugas in 11 days' notice and stuff like that. He could have beat Ugas, in my opinion. Mario Barrios beat Ugas, and he could have beat Jeff Horn. He could have been undefeated, in the later part of his career, right? Look at George Kamboso. George Kamboso only had look at before the Teofimo Lopez fight. He beat Lee Selby. He beat Mickey Bay. He dropped Mickey Bay in the same night that Teofimo Lopez became a champion, beating Richard Comey. The same night that Bud Crawford beat the Mean Machine. That was his good. That was a great night for George Kambosos. A lot of people just didn't know about him, right? Listen to what I said leading up to, and how I described George Kambosos leading up to the fight, even with Teofimo Lopez. Listen, if you've been following the channel, now you know you in the right channel. Now you know you with somebody that thinks, that knows. I ain't trying to be no cocky about it, but hey, this is Punch Wrong Boxing. Listen to my breakdowns leading up to the Teofimo Lopez fight. This is a good matchup. George Kambosos is no easy picking. George Kambosos has been training with the likes of one of the greats that ever laced him up. Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao, that's his favorite sparring partner, because ain't nobody pushing Manny Pacquiao the way George Kambosos push one of the greats. He's fast, great movement, you know, great power, decent power. Yo, combinations. He throws after combination after combination. He's not this pop shot. He's not this guy that only throws 1 to 2 punch. He throws 2 to 3 combinations, 2 to 3, 4 combinations. And yo, the confidence is up. The confidence is up. The competition is there. The teaching is there. The wisdom around them is there. And you know what? Now that George Kambosos and Manny Pacquiao was there, George Kambosos is going to be working out probably with Manny Pacquiao again to prepare for this. Since he's been working with Manny Pacquiao, you know, Manny Pacquiao says that George Kambosos is his favorite sparring partner. He's the one that gears him up and prepare him the best. Hey, got to give kudos. You know, a lot of people like to talk about sparring. This is the sparring era now. Kambosos does have a credible resume, right? Undefeated, fast, good strength, not a knockout artist, but he could sting you. Great speed, good uppercut, great combinations, great footwork, and he fights. This style is good for entertaining. Teofimo Lopez, when he wants to box, he'll box. When he want to slug it out, he'll slug it out. Kambosos, he will slug it out. He will let his hands go. Great high volume puncher. Great high volume puncher. He lets his hands go. Is due for a great entertaining fight. You heard my breakdown. Oh yeah, we break it down on boxing logically and objectively. I know some of y'all wasn't following the channel back then, but now you know. Oh, and there was more videos about it, how I was breaking it down. A lot of people thought I was crazy. A lot of people say, no, Punch, you don't know what you're talking about, Punch. You don't know what you're talking about. George Kambosos ain't nothing. He hasn't done nothing. He's a domestic fighter. If George Kambosos goes back to the roots, if George Kambosos goes back to what made him great, what made him great that night. Not great in the overall, because he was great that night and he didn't show that he could be great again. Now, of course, Manny Pacquiao did retire after 2021. And maybe George Kambosos didn't have that sharpness, that iron sharpness to help him out like he was helping Manny Pacquiao out. But is it a coincidence that now Manny Pacquiao is back and George Kambosos is going to have another great fight? So all I'm saying is Kambosos needs Manny Pacquiao, and maybe Manny Pacquiao needs George Kambosos for this fight with Mario Barrios. Yeah, I know there's people out there that be like, yo, but George Kambosos, yes, he haven't done nothing of late, but in the end of the day, he has. The reason why George Kambosos is in the position where he's at today is because what he did that night in Madison Square Garden to Teofimo Lopez. Now, there's a lot of people that felt like, you know what, it could have been a draw. A lot of people felt like, you know what, George Kambosos didn't take it from a champion. A lot of people felt like, you know what, everybody knew about Teofimo Lopez health conditions. Yeah, at the end of the day, Teofimo Lopez stepped aside that ring with the conditions, so you can't take away the victory of George Kambosos. But for now, for George Kambosos, right now he's currently a one-hit wonder, and he could change all of that in 3 weeks when he faces Richardson Hitchins. If he beats Richardson Hitchins and he beat an undefeated already Teofimo Lopez, George Kambosos could be a future Hall of Famer. I'm not going to say first ballot Hall of Fame, but this right here, this win, is just as important as the Teofimo Lopez split decision victory. Let me know what y'all think. Does Kambosos needs Pacquiao? And does Pacquiao needs Kambosos? Because Manny Pacquiao did say that he is the man to prepare him to go to war. This is Punch Wrong Boxing, a.k.a. Mr. Moonshine himself. Love y'all. God bless. On to the next.